Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
We are so excited to have Eman Dahmani back with us, but now also on the Zoomcast, not just the podcast. Welcome to the show, sweetheart. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Jill. I'm doing really well. Thank you again for having me. And it's exciting. We get to kind of meet face to face.
Yeah, and she's all about faces. Now, she's the co-owner and lead aesthetic specialist of her own company. Of course, it's Pristine Rejuvenation MedSpa. You're based out of West Bloomfield, Michigan, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Beautiful. And it's pristinerejuvenation.com. And tell us a little bit about the work you're doing to help us with our aging and our overall wellness. Give us a little introduction because there's new listeners each and every week.
Absolutely. Well, it's truly a passion of mine. I've been in the nursing field for over 20 years. I've been started off in anesthesia, and then I do and love aesthetics so much that I opened up a med spa along with my medical director. So at Pristine Rejuvenation, we're a full-fledged med spa. We do everything from your standard injectables such as Botox, dermal fillers, your typical Juvederm. We do a lot of regenerative treatments such as PRP, microneedling, laser treatments, anything and everything that you can think of, especially with this kind of ever-evolving industry of aesthetics. So I like to think that we offer all the services that people are looking for and services that people might not be aware of. It's a completely non-surgical rejuvenation. We also have Sylvie, she's our esthetician on staff as well. So we're all about creating the best version of you possible is what I say.
And that's what you do. We had some great conversations about the type of work you do. And again, we're talking about injectables. We talked some difference about Botox. We've talked about sculpture. We've talked about, my goodness, was it PRP? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yep, she's all coming back to me. What did you have in mind for us today? I mean, since it is our first Zoom, I don't know if you want to go through everything, or what did you have in mind?
Well, today I thought we'd talk a little bit about some of our devices. It's gained a lot of popularity, in particular the Morpheus 8, which is radio frequency microneedling.
Oh, wait. Well, can I tell you? I did that a few months ago for my stomach. We'll talk about it in a minute, but I'm familiar with it because it works. Oh my God. They say that's the latest and greatest laser. Is that true?
I truly believe in it. I mean, we don't offer anything that I haven't tried myself or that I don't believe is effective. And it's all about non-surgical rejuvenation right now. People don't want to go under the knife. People don't want to, have long healing times. They're worried about obviously costs, and they're worried about downtime. And so with the latest kind of technology innovation, we have what we call radio frequency microneedling. It's not necessarily new. The Morpheus 8 has gained popularity. It's a particular brand just because it's very effective. And each device is different. It's kind of like if you compare a Louis Vuitton to, I don't know, any other bag, right? So the devices, in terms of their inferiority, you have to it's not just about getting a treatment, it's about what type of treatment device are we using. And I'm going to see if I can show kind of the Morpheus. This is actually, it's called the Optimus, and I call it my med spa on wheels.
Ooh.
Because it has the ability to utilize different, we have little pieces, separate pieces, including the Morpheus 8, which we'll talk about in a second. But I also have included with this my IPL, which is for photo rejuvenation or surface rejuvenation of the skin. So we're talking about anybody with hyperpigmentation, rosacea, any browns and reds. It helps with discoloration and improving the tone and texture of the skin. But again, today we're going to talk about the Morpheus 8, which is radio frequency microneedling. And so what is that? We may have talked a little bit before about microneedling in general. And that's when we have, for example, I'll show you now that we're on video, we may have a little device such as this. It's called the skin pin. It's actually it's a skin pin. It's a microneedling device. And so this has a cartridge with 14 sterile needles. So the concept of microneedling isn't new. It's when you have small microscopic or small little needles that puncture the skin stimulate collagen rejuvenation naturally, right? And of course, this takes time. So it's over a matter, of sessions, usually 3. What the Morpheus is doing is it's the same concept. We have a piece, but we have microneedling and we're adding to it energy in the form of radio frequency. So what does that mean for you? It's almost like getting 2 treatments in one. So with the Morpheus, again, we have the microneedling. The Morpheus in particular has 24, and this is just the cover, it's not
Wow.
the actual tip, but it has 24 gold-plated tips, which is great because and they're insulated. And so that's going to penetrate into the skin at different depths, but it's also adding energy, heat in the form of radio frequency. So what does that do for you? So we already talked a little bit about microneedling. It's going to stimulate collagen. It's going to regenerate your tissue. It's going to help improve tone, texture. It's going to tighten. Then when we add energy to it, the radio frequency will actually break down fat cells and help really remodel the tissue. So I think of the Morpheus as a remodeling device, right? When we apply it to certain areas, the big area of concern for a lot of my patients this is actually the lower face, the jowl area, right? And so when we apply the Morpheus tip to the lower face or the jowl area, at depths between usually 3 and 4 millimeters, so it's deep, the energy is going to help break down those fat cells and tighten that area. So I think of the Morpheus as a skin tightening, resurfacing, remodeling device. And it's pretty incredible because, this is all done non-surgically at the office. Downtime is minimal. You're usually red for about a day. The process is really simple. You come in, we numb your face with surgical numbing, topical numbing. I also inject numbing to do what we call a nerve block for added comfort, because people, one of the questions, does it hurt? Well, if we don't manage your comfort, sure, it could be uncomfortable. But with the measures that we use here, with the topical numbing, with the nerve block, plus we offer laughing gas as an option.
Okay.
They're literally sleeping in my chair through treatment.
That's awesome.
And I know that's a huge concern. People don't want to come in for an elective procedure and have to hurt. I get it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you now that tip that you just showed me, where the machine that goes to the tip, that could be used where specifically on the body. So
everywhere.
Let's go over everything. It does for the face. And now it's going to help with fine lines. It's going to help with building the collagen, improving the texture of the skin, the pores.
Absolutely. So everything you said is correct. So if we start with the face, in particular, the upper face, can you hold on for 1 second?
Yeah, no problem. This is live TV radio. Okay. You got it. I'm going to talk while you walk away. Don't you worry about it, sweetheart. By the way, as I was going to tell our friend Eman Dahmani, that I've actually tried the Morpheus 8 through my girlfriend here. I live on Long Island. I would love to go see you, where you're located in Michigan. I mean, she helped try to tighten my stomach. And it worked with some other modalities, but there you are. Okay. PristineRejuvenation.com. Don't worry. It happens, girl. You got to work. I get it. So for the face, the laser's great. And all parts of the body, are we talking? Yes. I know the stomach, but even the butt, I heard it can help with the saddlebag area under the thighs too.
So we have the Morpheus, the tips vary, right? So if we're doing the face, we're going to use a tip that's appropriate for the face. The under eyes, if you have excess tissue, lines and wrinkles, we can apply the device tip underneath the eye, right on the eyelid, to help tighten that area, especially if you have bags and fine lines and wrinkles. It'll help with contouring the face and tightening, so it'll help with jowling, again, lines, deep folds and wrinkles. I love it for the neck because it's great for neck tightening and especially those necklace lines. But yes, other parts of the body, it's a separate tip. We call it Morpheus Body. And I've had phenomenal results on the abdomen. I mean, I have moms maybe that just had a baby and, they have some excess skin tissue. They want to tighten up that area. It's phenomenal for helping with, just some of the scarring that you might get in excess skin tissue in the abdominal area. I've done it for the underneath the arms. They call them the bat wings. I've done it around the thighs. So yes, the Morpheus is appropriate for any part of the body and highly effective because the depth of the needle can go relatively deep on the body. In the face, we're talking about 3 to 4 millimeters on average. The body, we're talking 6, 8 millimeters depth. And that's going to help again tighten and remodel the tissue. It'll help with the surface of your skin and it'll help tighten everything underneath.
Got it. And I mean, this is, how often do you have to use it? Is it upkeep? Is it life changing? Is it like, what, how does that process work?
So in terms of the actual treatment, I always recommend we start with 3, just because, if people are coming in for a treatment, they want phenomenal results. And so if that's what you're looking for, we recommend a series of 3, at least 30 days apart. So for face and neck, I usually have people do it every 30 days. And for the body, we usually do a session and then we do it our second and third session 6 weeks later. Because the body regenerating the body takes a little bit longer, other areas other than the face. But you'll start to see results usually after your second treatment. And within a few months, your results will continue to improve. And we're talking about dramatic skin tightening. This isn't just, mild results in terms of what the capability that it has is pretty impressive. I mean, that's why you have, everyone in Hollywood is kind of raving about it. We know Kim Kardashian has had it to her abdomen and face. Jessica Simpson kind of was talking about having the Morpheus done. So it's one of the procedures that is, anyone can have it done. When I mean anyone, regardless, some energy-based devices are safe for certain skin types, but I love this because really any skin type it's appropriate for. We get to regulate it too. And one of the reasons I wanted to show you you can see it or not, the device, but here I have a little, I'm able to regulate the depth. I'm able to regulate the energy. The Morpheus also comes with different tips. So I have some clients who are really concerned with just superficial fine lines, especially around the mouth. We call them smoker's lines, even if you don't smoke. And that's great because I can use the resurfacing tip to target that area. And again, minimal downtime. We manage your comfort 100%. I mean, people are very comfortable. The post-treatment protocol is not complicated. We usually say take it easy for the first few days, just no intense exercising. Give your face a break if you can. But if you're one of those people who want to wear makeup, I usually say after 2 days, makeup is appropriate. You can wear it. And yeah, we love it. And I know you mentioned that you had it done?
Yes.
Okay. Now, was that your first treatment?
I did. Well, Morpheus, I did 3 sessions for my stomach. The sculpture, I did 2 so far for those.
Okay, great. Well, you look beautiful. I mean,
Thank you. No, because I have smile. I have a deep smile, and I'm telling you, they're getting better. But no, I have a lot. I smile a lot until I had sinus surgery to remove polyps a month and a half ago. I still can't smile fully. I look stiff, but no, they're really pronounced for me. And looking at myself, and especially if I work on television, we're all insecure about parts of our life. There's nothing wrong with that. So if I could fix something, I said I want to try that before I go into the filler route. I'm 44. I'm at that age where I can do both probably, but I wanted to try that first, and I really think it's making a difference. Because one is more pronounced than the other. I can't tell them on camera. One curls down. It's uneven. So one wrinkles really deep.
Normal. So what I tell everyone is that there's no one with perfect symmetry in the face. So if you're to split the face in half, there's always going to be a side that sits slower. Maybe in terms of those smile lines, one fold is going to, that's normal human nature. That's just how we are. If you tried to achieve perfect symmetry, and they've done studies, and you can Google it, it looks very bizarre and unnatural. But yes, that's normal. And I kind of praise you because you're trying these regenerative modalities. So sculpture is great. You're going to get a good 2 to 3 years out of it. And I always tell people, yes, there's maintenance, But once you get a treatment, your maintenance isn't the same. If you stay on top of it, we're talking about every few years with Sculptra, and you're not getting a full treatment. You just a little bit. I call it kind of tweaking. The same thing with the Morpheus. Once you get your series, for most people, 3 is more than enough. It's adequate to achieve the results that you're looking for in terms of tightening and skin tissue remodeling. And then I tell people, we see you every year and a half for treatment. You're not getting a series. But I think it's important to consider what we call kind of multi-modalities or different approaches. So you're in your mid-40s. Sculptra was an excellent choice for you because you're not going to be adding really volume to your face, right? You're helping support, stimulate collagen, and adding structure. So it's going to make you look very natural. You're going to have long-term results. We're talking 2 to 3 years. And then, once you get the results that you want, if you want to add a little filler to help give you some contour, you can, and you'll need a lot less dermal filler. So my approach now with most of my clients, we do a treatment plan, is if they're really willing to incorporate Sculptra, which I think is amazing, we do that first. And then we tweak. We usually wait 3 to 4 months, maybe put a little filler in the cheeks just to help, add a little pop, a cheek pop, right? Or give you kind of that OG curve that you start to lose after your 30s. If they want to do Morpheus, I usually recommend Morpheus first. We tighten the skin, remodel the tissue. And then if we need to put a little filler, because filler is replacing volume, right? Those fat pads that are in your face that have shrunken, filler is actually replacing it. If that's part of our treatment plan, which a lot of my clients elect to do. We do the filler after several months.
Got it. So after you see the results, good. It's actors. My friend who's a doctor who said the same thing. She's like, you could use filler. Everyone could use filler, but try this first, and you got to wait. The amount of time in between is critical and important because you don't want to be putting 2 things in at once. Because she mentioned, by the way, can I tell you something? I never knew this. As a woman, I never even knew this existed. You being in the field, you do. But when I came in for like a facial consult, which I'm sure is what you do, you're going to look at someone's face, and things are, no one's face is perfect. They're, they're not, what is it? Asymmetric, right?
Yes.
They're not all symmetric. But anyway, she pointed this out to me. She's like, you have no chin. I'm like, what? I never knew. So then I turned to the side. I'll show you.
Yeah.
So I have like a nubby chin. Like who knows? It doesn't matter. But I mean, like everyone has. So she's like, we could put filler in there to make it bigger. And I'm like, I never. And then I look at pictures and I'm like, you're right. I appreciate you telling me. No one ever told me. And she's like, we could put filler there. She's like, but hold on, we could put Sculptra there first. Let's see if that does anything. And then wait a few months but that's so kind that someone's giving you their honest opinion. And then on top of it, doing the less invasive thing first to see if it helps. And then, but I never even knew that existed on the face. I never looked at people's chins. And I started looking at people's chins and I'm like, oh my God, you have a nubby chin too. Or that person has the perfect chin. It's just like, wow.
It's interesting because the chin is probably one of the, I would say, least treated, but one of my favorite areas to treat because it can completely change and actually improve your profile. Completely. And that the reason you probably didn't realize it is because most people, when they're looking at their face, you have a frontal view, right? You're not looking at yourself from the side unless you actually took a picture. And so what your provider did and what I do at the office is when they come in, we do a full facial assessment. And I actually have golden mean calipers. I have calipers. And we actually measure the face. You can mathematically assess the face to see what you can do to improve the profile. And the chin is one of the best areas. When I do lips, I always assess the chin as well, because if you add lip filler and you have a recessed chin, it's not going to look natural.
Which I would have if I had lip filler, which I could probably use. But yeah, you're right, because I could see the nub. So it would be like, whoa, you see more of the lips than anything, and it should be more in proportion.
You want things to be proportionate, and you want it to it really helps balance the face. That's why I love chin filler, and I don't expect clients to know. They come in, they're coming for our recommendations, our advice. There's different options. So what I like to do again as part of my assessment, I tell them, okay, these are areas, this is these are the areas that may enhance your natural beauty and profile. You know, it's obviously an elective treatment, but the chin, we're talking about on average a syringe of filler. It's not a lot, it's a fifth of a teaspoon. Some people need more if it's very recessed. But you know, if you come in and you're like, I hate these folds, you know, people, that's what they look at, but they don't know what the treatment is, right? What's the treatment for deep nasolabial folds? We don't inject filler here anymore. We inject fillers in the cheek,
Around it to
the
pull it
broad
up.
face
Yeah.
to help lift it up. The jawline, same thing. And so when I think of the face, I really like to think of it as full facial, pan facial rejuvenation enhancement. You have to remember that you have temples, that when you add cheek filler, your temples are going to start to look hollower because the fat pads there are shrinking. So then your face will look like a peanut almost, right? So not as natural, or as not as ideal, I guess is the best word. And so, yeah, I always think of the face as a full facial profile. Me as a provider, it's my kind of duty to assess you. We do it, you know, by measuring the face, by looking at how what happens when you do certain dynamic movements like smile. But yeah, I mean, I think it's great that your provider told you about, hey, this is an opportunity or option for you in the future to consider. Once we do the Sculptra, let's see how your profile can be enhanced.
Awesome. Let's remind everyone how we can reach you. Please, Eman, Dahmani, tell us the website.
It's pristinerejuvenation.com. You can also call us at 248-955-3535.
Perfect. And just a little bit about yourself, since there are some new listeners here to the podcast. What brought you into this field? How long have you been in it? And could you share a little bit about that?
Absolutely.
Even though I know, I remember, but
it's okay. I've been in the nursing field for 20 years. I actually still am a certified registered nurse anesthetist. So I've been giving anesthesia. I'm like pass gas is what we call it.
wow. Yeah.
For the past 10 years. I've been in aesthetics for about 3 years now. I co-own with my medical director, Pristine Rejuvenation MedSpa in West Bloomfield, Michigan.
Yay.
I've been getting Botox for 20 years, filler, you name it. I love everything beauty rejuvenation. I wanted to combine my passion for beauty and aesthetics with my medical background, right? So I always tell people my two passions are aesthetics and anesthesia, and which is really unique because I get patients that are anxious, that are worried about pain. I'm like, I got you. Don't even worry about that. I know how to manage your comfort and pain, but also enhance your beauty. And excuse me, it's that time of year, so I got a little cold. But yeah, again, because I do these treatments myself and I've been having it done, and I just enjoy doing it. I really have a passion for just making people feel good about themselves. It's not just about your outer beauty. I've had people that I've had literally, they have texted me or called me or sent me little letters saying, as a result of maybe having X done, that it's been life-changing for them. Maybe they were self-conscious. I had a client who was really young and she had, severe acne, and, she came to me, we developed a nice thorough treatment plan. I told her, it's not just about having one treatment done or putting one cream on. This is a whole, we have to change everything about what you're doing, your skincare, your professional treatments, your treatments at home. Consider your diet, even things that even your shampoo. And so I was happy to say 9 months later, because it takes time, her results, her acne cleared. We're able to take care of a lot of her surface scarring. We use a little Bellafill, which is filler, to help inject filler to the surface so that those acne scars were diminished. But what it did for her as an individual, she told me I hated leaving the house. I couldn't leave without makeup. I didn't even like how makeup looked. It made her self-conscious, but it just changed her attitude and her perception. And so I tell people, if something is concerning you, then that's definitely your right as an individual to enhance and improve anything, because it's going to help not only outer, but I say how you feel in the inside, your inner beauty, right? And your inner feelings.
Yeah. Well, And this is amazing work. By the way, I want to ask you, what about topical stuff too? Even though you're into this, but do you believe in like Retin-A, or what are some skincare treatments that we should be doing at home? Obviously, it's great to get these services done, but what are we doing on a daily basis that you can recommend for people at home that's good for us?
Absolutely. So I tell people 60% of your skin quality, this has been, there's been research done on this, is based on not what I do, it's based on what you do at home, your skincare management. There's actually an article or research article that was published in the Journal of Dermatology years ago. And it was literally the skincare health pyramid, similar to the pyramid that we use for nutrition. So at the very basic, you need to be using sunblock consistently, because most of your skin damage is caused by the sun. So if you just did that, you're 10 steps ahead of a lot of people. The next ingredient that you need to incorporate, there's not a lot, vitamin C. We know vitamin C is going to help stimulate collagen. Your body at a certain age doesn't stimulate collagen as much. You need vitamin C for that. So vitamin C at the very bottom, at the very least, vitamin C and sunblock. And then we have vitamin A, which is called, it's retinoid. People are always confused about the different terms. It's really based on the strength, right? So you may have heard of Retin-A or tretinoin. That's prescription strength retinol, right? But you also have lower concentration that you'll find in certain serums. I like people to start off low, but incorporate vitamin A and use it as tolerated, because it can dry up the skin. But again, that's going to stimulate, that's great for anti-aging. Phenomenal. Stimulates collagen. It's a great anti-aging, will also help with skin tone. And you would want to use that at least a few times a week. Start off with a lower concentration, work your way up. And then we have our AHAs, our BHAs, they're the hydroxy acids. That's going to really help exfoliate the skin.
Okay, good.
And then there's little vitamin E, anti-inflammatory. That's I would consider essential.
Like vitamin E oil?
I like, serum. A lot of our products have it incorporated.
Okay.
But vitamin E is a great antioxidant. It's anti-inflammatory. So having this ingredient incorporated with your skincare, a lot of people don't want to use 10 bottles of skincare. So I know that everyone has kind of their different abilities in terms of how much they want to spend on skincare. But if you can have access to effective medical grade skincare, and what's the difference? People always ask, well, what's the difference between medical grade skincare, what we call the actives. Actives are things like vitamin A, vitamin C, tend to be a higher concentration, meaning that concentration can't be made available over the counter. And usually the ingredients tend to be a better quality. There's been research on it. So you can find this at your dermatologist's office, at a medical spa. It has to be purchased through a provider. But the benefits are completely worth it. A lot of our products incorporate all of these ingredients. For example, we carry Anti-Age MD. It's literally a 2-step skincare system that has vitamin, or not vitamin A, it has Bucachol, a vitamin A alternative. It has vitamin C. It has vitamin E. It has growth factors, which we know, again, are kind of help stimulate and regenerate tissue. So you have all the ingredients that you need for effective kind of skincare and improving skin quality in one skincare set. So that is available. So yeah, we listed A, C, E, sunblock, AHAs, BHAs, and then at the very top of the growth factor pyramid is what we call peptide, or skincare pyramid, is growth factors and peptides. People are always questioning, what is a growth factor? A growth factor essentially is a protein. You can obtain it from different, you have growth factors. Some people take it from fat, which I don't like. But, there's different ways for these companies to retrieve the growth factors. But it's an important element to include in your skincare system.
Got it. Well, thank you so much. And now we are overtime, but I'm glad we made up for our
Oh.
time. We'll keep talking. I don't want to run out of time and lose you on the Zoom here. So let's remind our listeners again how we can reach out to you. Please give us your website, phone number, any form of contact. Thank you.
Absolutely. You can reach us at 248-955-3535 or visit us at pristinerejuvenation.com. Thank you so much for having us again, Jill. We appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. You have a fantastic day. And to all of our listeners, we appreciate you. Stay tuned. Of course, more of the shows coming right up after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.